asked, can you make a video about how the other YouTubers that are only Snyder fans are completely crazy for not giving the other movie directors a chance for them to make a DC movie? I think I've done that many times. I talk about that a lot. You're not wrong, though. I mean, let's face it. You are not wrong, because I've said this so many times. Like, we have the DCU right now, and James Gunn made Superman, and some people love it, some people don't like it, and that's fine. There's going to be other directors, there's going to be other writers, there's going to be other creatives that create within the DCU, and I think these people need to give them a chance. They need to see what is going to be created within the DCU that isn't being led by James Gunn before anybody can sit there and say the DCU is a failure. I was having this discussion on X today, and it's one of those things, like, people have this mindset that it's all James Gunn. Like, it's 100% James Gunn. Everything is James Gunn DCU. DCU is only James Gunn. And it's so bizarre that people have this mindset and they refuse to acknowledge that there is more to the DCU than James Gunn. Yes, the only difference between how James Gunn is running the DCU and how Kevin Feige runs the MCU is that James Gunn is a director and a writer, and he's able to get involved in that way, where Kevin Feige, he doesn't direct. He's not involved in that way. That's the major difference. So while the MCU, we see different directors for all these different films, but I mean, you're going to see the same thing in the DCU, and people don't understand that. And where this conversation stems from is, we sit there and everybody loves to talk about how if we bring Snyder back, it's going to fix everything. Well, no, because there was a lot of people who did not like what Zack Snyder was doing. And there's a lot of people that did like what he was doing, and there's no denying that. Just like with James Gunn, there's a lot of people that like it, a lot of people that don't. But there is a brighter upside to what is going on with the DCU than what would be going on under Zack Snyder. And the reason why I say that is because tonally, aesthetically, and just the scale of what can be done under the DCU being led by James Gunn is much grander, much larger than what was ever planned under Zack Snyder. And no, Zack Snyder wasn't in charge. He laid out a plan, an idea, and was kind of like, hey, here's some ideas. I'll help you make a Wonder Woman movie, a Suicide Squad, a Batman movie, a Flash movie, a Cyborg. Like, I'll give you the ideas and some story ideas for this on how we can build out from here. But he wasn't really the man in charge. But even then, there was an ending for his story that would have kind of handcuffed the creatives at that point. Whereas with James Gunn, first off, tonally and aesthetically, it is much more pleasing to the large-scale audience. That is what the audience likes when it comes to comic book movies and the genre. As well as, hey, you have all these different directors, all of these different ideas that they're willing to go with, that is not just stuck in the humorous side. Look at what they're doing with Clayface. Look at what they're doing with Lanterns. Look at what they did with Superman. Look at what they're doing with Supergirl. They're going in all these different directions. So, in my opinion, you're exactly right, Artface, that they need to give them a chance to do something different. Yes, they do. They need to give them a chance to highlight these other directors and filmmakers, because it's going to be completely different than what we've seen in the past.